Good afternoon, good afternoon, you all. Welcome to God First Christ Gang Media News. Welcome to God First Christ Gang Media News. I'm your host, Brian Taylor Bridges. Welcome to God First Christ Gang Media News, y'all. Come on in. I want to go in tonight on about this particular police chief, you all. I said it, an actual police chief who was actually catfished into a prostitution sting, you all. I said it, the old freaky chief was catfished into a prostitution ring, you all. Like I said, this is simply absolutely crazy, you all. I want to come on tonight and talk about sexual addictions and how this Georgia police chief got caught way in Tampa busting into this prostitution sting, you all, when he was actually going down there for some type of photographing school where he can take some better pictures, to enhance his police career, you all. Now, mind you, this particular police chief has also been a member of the FBI staff, you all. He's also had some FBI training, like I said, so I don't particularly know how he would actually get in a situation like this, but besides a sexual addiction, you all. Like I said, sexual addiction can actually lead you down a very dark place, and this particular police chief happened to go down one of these dark paths, you all. Like I said, mind you, this particular police chief, he happened to be married with a beautiful family, you all. I said that the police chief is absolutely married with a beautiful family, you all. A lovely wife and whom he loves dearly, I'm sure, and happened to be out there in the streets trying to get his trick on, you all. I said it, trying to get his party on, you all. And the police chief, as I was told, cannot count, you all. He cannot count. Not only is he out there tricking, but he's also tipping, you all. I said it, he ain't just out there tricking, but he's also doing a little tipping and extra bonus with his little sex package, you all. I said it, he had the extra ingredients and everything he needed for a fabulous time, you all. Like I said, it's very sad to see police chief, like I said, after 30 years, because mind you, about all the particular people that he may have arrested, may have incarcerated on similar charges, may have even busted some people, you all, with a man that is not honest, as this particular officer happens to be. Like I said, he's way out of Kingston, Georgia, and happened to be up in Florida, you all, and get catfished by his own officials. I said it, get catfished by his own officials, you all, in which he thought he happened to be the most smartest dude around, you all, because this particular police chief happened to jump in a DEA patrol vehicle and proceed to this prostitute location, you all. I absolutely wish they had shown the whole location, so forth and so on, but I'm pretty sure this is a known location to where they bust multiple joints, you all. Those are guys that are actually out there soliciting for sex to actually pay someone for their services, such as prostitution. Now, mind you all, it was just a misdemeanor. So, the police chief, he didn't actually stay in jail long, you all. Well, actually, he did stay in jail long because his bond was $500, and with his wife being so upset, you all, she did not come get him out, you all. And with him being on the other side of the law, he just probably was so embarrassed that he just didn't take the extra steps to finally understand that he possibly could have got out for the $50, you all, because his bond was only $500, and it took the police chief absolutely 2 days to get out of jail. I said it took him 2 days to actually snap, to come to some kind of understanding that he can actually get out of jail, you all. And I do have a clip and a small news clip with Chief Grady, Sheriff Grady in Polk County, you all, how he absolutely thought this man was absolutely missing some screws. I said it. He did think the police chief himself was absolutely missing some screws, you all. But like I said, when you are in a relationship with someone and they can't understand the type of things that you offer into, the things you like to do, I suggest that you all communicate with your partners and try to figure out some of the things that they like also, you all. Because, you know, when you in a long-term relationship or long-term marriage, you know, it's not just a one-sided thing, you all. So you have to kind of try to understand what your wife like. And for you wives and ladies out there, you got to kind of understand what your men are off into. But like I said, this particular Chief Jason, y'all, he was off into some kinky things, because when he showed up to the little prostitute in them house, you all, he was talking about he was feeling real girly, you all. So I'm pretty sure the police wanted to lay his hair back and get on his freaky side, you all. But like I said, when you in a marriage, you all, this is something that you want to discuss with your partner, you all, because you know, when you have some of these kind of sexual addictions, they can lead you down a dark place. And if your partner is not willing to share that with you, you all, then you find these particular men like these Johns out there trying to pay for some sex somewhere, when that's absolutely insane. First and foremost, to actually pay for some sex, you all, when you got some sex, or you got a whole wife, woman, baby mama, or girlfriend at home. Like I said, this would be an absolutely crazy thing, you all. And like I said, you know, some of these people are into some things that, you know, we can't even discuss on TV, you all. I said it, we can't even discuss this on YouTube or nowhere in the public, some of these kind of sexual fantasies, you all. But like I said, if you do take the time out and discuss some of these things with your partner, you may be surprised, you all. You may be actually surprised, instead of you having to go out into the streets and run across a stranger or get some kind of venereal disease or actually lose your whole career. I said that actually in this particular situation, what turned out to be a misdemeanor offense is going to cost this man his whole job career, you all. I said that after 30 years of serving, he got caught with the banana in the tailpipe. I said he got hit with the hard count, the 1, 2, 3, 42 fake out. You know, he got catfished by the catfishers, and I'm pretty sure he was a fisher with the bait before, you all. I said it, he done throw some bait out there for somebody else to fall into, and now the roost is coming home to crow. The crow and the rooster, crow, when the crow and the rooster come home to crow. Y'all know how they go. But here, you know, like I said, I do have a clip, so forth and so on, and just not only the clip, but I want to read a little small portion of it, you all, because like I said, it also gives a more solid, concrete accusations or these assumptions, you know, that they, like I said, these allegations, which are true facts, you all. He was arrested and booked into the Polk County Jail, you all. So like I said, I'm going to take a brief moment and read this article to you all. But first, before I do that, let me read my copyright disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Title 17 USC Sections 107. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news report, teacher scholarships, and research. Fair use is permitted by the copyright statute and might otherwise be infringed. Non-profit, educational, and personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. It tips the balance in favor of fair use, you all. And like I said, for those who are joining, you may be joining now or maybe joining a little later. Like I said, this particular topic is, like I said, this particular police chief happened to be catfished, you all. He happened to be catfished. He was actually off doing some work, you all. You know, he had told his wife he was going to Orlando to do this photography type of thing, to take this particular class. Now, in the middle of this class, I guess he playing on these phones. You know, when you looking at these certain apps, so forth and so on, you know, you give these other apps permission to pretty much log into the content that you are actually looking at, you all. I said it. It is actually tracking your tracking. It is actually tracking your movement, you all. So as he was in the middle of this photograph and shoot thing, which happened to be a class, you all, he was catfished by a female detective who actually solicited him for a good night out. And mind you, he immediately jumped into it, you all. And like I said, the first night, you all, he had actually sent this woman $200, you all. And like I said, that had to be a clear sign. But not only did she leave him the first time hanging, he went into the store, got a particular ATM card or a Cash App card out of the Walgreens, which happened to be one of these visas, you all, and actually take the picture to send her the actual receipt showing that he had added money to the card. Now, mind you, after she had stung him the first night, he called her back the second night, you all, and I guess he was sitting up bored, actually sitting up drinking, doing whatever he proceeded to be doing when he get the feeling hot and bothered, you all, but he decided to call this woman again the second night, and there it went, you all, where he proceeded to do some foolish things. So like I said, let me go ahead on and read this article, because I didn't really want to tear too long on it, but like I said, I did want to talk about the seriousness of you know, these sexual relationships, you all, and don't let this type of feeling drive you into a dark place. I said it. Don't let this type of feeling drive you into a dark place. You know, I suggest some prayer, you know, some reading, try to get closer with your partner, y'all. You actually try to initiate things if you are actually feeling neglected, you know, before you decide you're going to go out into the streets and sleep with an absolute stranger, or you're going to go pay somebody and absolutely blow your marriage and blow your job, career, and so forth and so on. You are, like I said, I have been in some very dark places in my relationship, and I have been in some very good moments in my relationship, you all. And like I said, some of these type of things can lead you down to a dark path, you all. And these are some of the decisions you do not want to make, you all. I said it's a decision that you do not want to make. It said, busted. A deputy police chief showed up in a Polk County prostitution sting ring with $180 pack of White Claws, the sheriff said. Like I said, this particular police chief, he was ready, y'all. He was hot. He probably had to pop him a couple of rhinos or something of that nature, you all. But he was pretty much ready, you all. He had a case of them White Claws. And for people who don't know who actually what White Claws is, it's a similarity to some sparkling water, you all. I said it's a similarity to some sparkling water. Now, some of it have a 5% content, alcohol content, and some of it have an 8% alcohol content. But like I said, this was particularly something that the chief had bought to turn up with. He was going to pass it out and let the girls potentially have this particular brand of beer, you all, while the police chief was actually on that Bud Light. I said it, this Bud is for you, police chief. You know, next time you know what to do. And I suggest, like Grady say, go on, sit back and write you a book or something, you know. Figure out how to stop the some of these type of things that you was out here doing. I don't know what you should do at this point, but I suggest you start at home, whatever that is. You need to start at home. Like I said, this was a crazy thing for the chief to experience because, again, after 30 years, he decided one night he was going to go out there and do this. And this what brings me back to also say this has happened more than one time. It has definitely had to happen more than one time, because the police chief felt comfortable enough to drive a company vehicle to a prostitute location. I said it. He felt comfortable enough to drive a police vehicle to a prostitute location. So these are some of the vehicles that they are using, that they are using for their own personal gratification. I said that they are actually burning taxpayers' money, taxpayers' dollars, insurance, gas money, so forth and so on. And we need to check and see if the police chief done swipe some of that bill on one of them cards he got for petty cash funds. Check them out, check all that out while y'all doing some checking. Like I said, Police Jason, I don't know what he was into that night, but he was actually ready to do his turn up, though. He was actually ready to turn up, you all. It said Georgia police chief landed behind bars after authorities said was busted in a prostitution sting in Polk County Thursday. It said the Polk County sheriff officer said 49-year-old Jason DePrima, of Kingston, Georgia, was arrested Thursday for soliciting a prostitution, a first-degree misdemeanor, It said and booked into the Polk County jail where he was released after paying a $500 bond. It said deputies said that DePrima was in the Orlando attending a photograph training workshop when he answered the online advertisement for an undercover detective who he believed to be a prostitute. Are you available tonight? He said. The detective in a text message, according to the deputies, I'd like to come and see you. What is your rate? Like I said, Detective Chief had seen that little hot there on that little thing, and man, he went straight to work. Hey, he wasn't worried about his police job or nothing. He'd say, man, what is the rate? I don't care what's going on. And mind you all, like I said, as I read along, I always share the news article in my description, so you all are actually able to follow along or actually read it later. And I do also have the article. It said authorities said DePrima agreed to meet and have sex with the undercover detective, but told her he got spooked and asked to meet her the next evening, So he got spooked the first night. He had already sent the $200, and then the next night she had wanted to charge police chief $120. I said she told the police chief she had to around the world and to back that thing up for $120. But the police chief, instead of bringing $120 or $100 or even $80, the police chief bought her $180, and then he told her, I can get you some more cash after we finish, usually you get your little serves, and then you be trying to see if you can hold back a 20 or 2. But in this case, chief, he wasn't COD, he was paying up front, he wanted to make sure it went down, and he gave her a $60 tip. I said it. The police chief gave her a $60 tip, and he ain't even getting there yet, So, like I said, he was ready. He was ready and ready like Freddy, It said the next day he agreed to meet the detective and pay her $120 for a half an hour of sexual activities, according to the sheriff office. It said deputies said that the Prima showed up at their meeting spot in an undercover cruiser, Like I said, it was an undercover cruiser normally assigned to agents with the U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency, you all, the DA administration officer. It was actually a DEA vehicle, but it wasn't no DEA vehicle that night. Cause Chief tried to put a stripper pole up in there. I said it, the Chief went on trying to put a stripper pole in the DEA car. Like I said, King Kong ain't nothing on him. He went way past the training day. You dig? It said that the promulgated the undercover detective $180 and a multi-pack of White Claws hard sizzler, you all. He was promptly arrested. He was promptly arrested. As soon as he passed over that White Claw, you all, they went on in and say, hold on, Chief, ain't nothing jumping. Chief thought it was finna go down. He was already coming out of stuff. Look, the money on the table. Hey, let it go. Then Chief say, I'm feeling girly tonight. Hey, it's about to go down. Shit. You might could hit me too. He said, what are you thinking? And this is the Chief Grady, you all. This is the Polk County actual sheriff down there in Polk County, and his name is Grady Judge, and he's a very serious police officer, you all. I don't know if you all happen to know Chief Grady, man, but he is known for one of the biggest busts in drug history that's coming out of Mexico, actually into Tampa, you all. I said it. He has one of the largest busts in narcotics history for drug trafficking from Mexico to Florida, you all. And this is facts, and you can all Google it up if you all want to. Like I said, I've been watching this particular sheriff for a minute, you all, because he is a man with a sense of humor. I said that he is a man with a sense of humor, and when he busts these dudes, he actually make them look like the idiots they are for doing some of the things that they are actually doing. Not only do he humiliate them, but he give them a funny life lesson, behind some of these criminal activities that they are actually engaging in Florida, you all. Like I said, a well-respected police. Definitely. Man, they said during the Thursday, they said during the Tuesday afternoon press conference, he said, you just want to go, come on, man. It said, have you lost your 3 brain cells, and do you have the cabbage for brains, or do you have cabbage for brains? Like I said, he was very hot and felt kind of felt disrespected, you all. Like I said, this is one of the men that supposed to be one of his partners, supposed to be one of his adversaries in this protecting serve field, supposed to be one of his adversaries in this fight against the world. And pretty much, like I said, this particular man is actually out there. You do have a lot of bad cops, you all, but like I said, you do have some good ones out there that's actually involved with people, that's actually involved with the children, and are actually trying to keep our streets safe, you all. And like I said, it said the Carterville Police Department, where he has served nearly 30 years. He is also a graduate of the FBI Academy. The department was notified of the matter, and it's unclear if it was a disciplinary, if they had faced him with a disciplinary action, you all. It said, if all else fails, he can write a book on how to ruin your career in 3 easy steps, the chief said. He said that the arrest was a part of a week-long investigation focused on human trafficking in the Polk County Sheriff area, you all. So this particular prostitution sting was a prostitution sting that they were actually trying to catch these human traffickers, you all. Like I said, it's a very serious thing, because not only was he out there in a particular situation of this magnitude, but they was actually trying to catch people that kidnap these young ladies and use them for sex trafficking crimes, you all. So like I said, it's very disgraceful for this particular chief to have to go through such a thing of such a magnitude. It said Sheriff Grady Judge is expected to share more details at a press conference at 3 p.m., you all. And like I said, this is absolutely crazy. I will share a small clip with you all before I close and let you go.
I'm going to talk briefly about an op that we're going to do a press conference on this next Friday morning, so y'all stay tuned.
And the chief called the man the op. Chief out there banging. He said he got caught on the wrong side. He a op. The chief said he got ops.
That we're going to do a press conference on this next Friday morning, so y'all stay tuned for more news on Friday morning.
Cue it a little bit and give you at least 2 minutes.
Release of information on a human trafficking operation. As you know, we seek out the victims of human trafficking.
Sisters, y'all can come join me at Brian Bridges on YouTube. That's BRIEN.
Operations.
Just like my name up there, y'all, on YouTube. Y'all are welcome to join me. I would very much appreciate it. And thank you for joining me here as well.
Well, let me introduce you to what
I think I got 1 or 2 more shows I want to share with you all tonight.
This is Deputy Chief Jason DePrima of the Cartersville Police Department. As I understand it, after talking to his chief, he's been there almost 30 years. Graduate of the FBI Academy, well-respected police officer in town. Did you notice I said in town? Out of town. That's right. He was at an American Polygraph Association meeting in Orlando, Florida. Let me say this clearly. I don't want you to miss it. Driving an unmarked vehicle that was normally assigned to the DEA task force, meaning their officer assigned to the task force would have driven this vehicle. But apparently his vehicle was not so good to make the trip. So he's in one of the undercover vehicles. When he shows up at our undercover operation in the government vehicle, carrying alcoholic beverages, apparently some Bud Light for himself and White Claw for our undercover operative. That's right, he bought a case of White Claw because she said she would like it. So ostensibly, this guy has come to have sex with a prostitute while driving the Cartersville Police Department undercover vehicle, and he was in possession of alcohol, which of course, had we not intervened, he was going to drink that, engage in sexual conduct, and ultimately get in his government vehicle and drive back to his hotel. But newsflash, this is Jason DePrima, 49 years of age, his picture at the Polk County Jail. That's right, and let me tell you the story as he relates it to us. He is texting with, guess what, our undercover detective. He started this conversation with her on Wednesday night where he was going to show up, but he became spooked. He didn't say why. But on Thursday night, he just couldn't resist the urge to be with our undercover detective, who he thought was a high-class prostitute. So he once again began to communicate. He asked how much the price is. She said $80, or a full half hour, $120. He said, I'm in.
He said, let's go.
He comes to the house. Ultimately, he's arrested. But the conversation is very interesting. He told her before the takedown occurred that the night before he had engaged with another prostitute online for $200. And that prostitute said, hey, go get a Cash App card. You know, you can buy them at the convenience stores. And he did for $200. And then she said, I want you to take a photograph of it so I know you've got the money. Duh. He took a photograph and sent it to the alleged prostitute on Wednesday night, according to him.
And like I say, that's just crazy, to blow your whole career, after 30 years, you out there tricking, in the streets, like I said, I was once young myself, you all. So, like I say, some of these sexual addictions lead you out down a very dark place, man. So I suggest you all compromise. Try to communicate with your partner. You may be embarrassed of some of the things that you feel, but express that with your partner. If there's something that you can share with your partner and she can possibly respect your feelings, these are some of the things that y'all can engage in together instead of you actually being in the streets doing something foolish, or blowing your career behind dumb stuff. These kind of setbacks set you back kind of far, you all. I said they'll set you back kind of far, kind of far in your relationship. You cause a lot of distrust in your relationship, a lot of distrust in your marriage, and so forth and so on, when you can actually be happy with the partner that you actually chose to be with, you all. I said you can actually be with the partner that you actually chose to be with. So these are some of the things that you want to do, you all. Always be compromising and always be a giving person, you all. Like I said, and these will keep you out of some of these kind of situations to where you blowing your whole career, you causing domestic violence in your whole house because you can't control sexual desire. I said because you can't control a sexual desire. Like I said, these are some of the things that you need to first discuss with your partner, and if it's something that she can't possibly deal with, or he, possibly he may not be into some of the things that she actually into, so forth and so on, But like I say, these are some of the things that you have to keep these kind of doors open. You have to keep these kind of communication lines open. You have to ask your partner, if you was pleasing to them. These are some of the things that, like I said, not only just as a person, that me as a man, that I also pray about. Because I want it to be as enjoyable to my partner as it actually is going to be for me, you all. So see, these are some of the things that I do before I actually engage in the sex. Actually while I'm taking a shower or while I'm doing whatever I may be doing, before I actually engage into some of these type of actions, you all, because like I said, it can lead you down a dark place, and I have personally been down some of these dark places myself, you all, and you don't want to be no sucker and get catfished like a police chief after 40 years. But like I said, he been out here living this type of lifestyle where he began to think it was a cool thing, you all. Like I said, he just began to think it was absolutely cool to be out here behaving in such a manner. Like I said, I didn't want to tag on this too long. I maybe have a few more things that I can come on here and share with you all. But until then, peace and love, you all. God First Christ Gang, we out. Thank you for joining. Peace. Peace. Thank you, sis. Who else? Minnie and Sweetie and Susie. Thank y'all. Peace.